10 years old, I crazed my mother to send me for piano lessons to Miss Peter Smith in the village. She was all classics. So I stuck it for 3 years. I couldn't stick it no longer, actually. I wanted to be out with the boys playing all the modern stuff that was then, like Roll Along Covered Wagon and I Don't Want to Set the World on Fire and all things like that. And then after then, they sort of didn't bother about playing much at all, rather. But I had tonsillitis once, and I found out that a neighbour had got a piano accordion. I'd never tried one before. I asked him if I could borrow it, as I was on the club sort of thing. So that's only a very small one, 12 bass, you know, nothing very spectacular about it. And I got enjoyed playing, and I bought myself a tutor book. He didn't seem to be no hurry to getting it back because he couldn't play. And I sort of got myself a tutor book and got quite proficient, actually. And then a man come to our house. My father used to do all the local haircutting. He come to our house for a haircut, and he heard about me playing, and he said, "Well, I've just lost my trumpet player in our band. Would you like to come and join it?" Well, I said, "Well, I ain't got a piano accordion." He said, "Well, what have you been playing then?" I said, "Well, I borrowed my neighbour's." He said, "Well, borrow it again." So I borrowed the neighbour's. I used to give him 2 shillings every time I went out, and he was quite amiable. That was money in his pocket because he didn't want to earn that. It was earning him something then. So I went out for the next 3 or 4 years. I gradually bought myself the next one. About after 6 months, I bought myself an 80 bass off of soldiers from the searchlight unit in the village, and I wore that out, and I bought another nice one, a Scandelli 120 bass, and I had that until I went in the army. That was 1944 then, unfortunately. But of course, over there, 1943, the Yanks come over, and they really had a good time at these dances, and that made our night, actually. And we had an American chap used to come out with us playing the trumpet. Fantastic player he was, and that's how I went. Still, I went in the army, and I never sort of done much. Well, you can't do much, but I did play once, going overseas in the Red Sea, and I did have a tune when I was in India on a little, Indian way of. They don't hold it on the shelves. They put it on the table and use the bellows that way. I played a little tune. I don't think they knew what it was anyhow. It was In the Mood, I think, something like that. And with that, I'd met my wife years before I went in the army, and we got engaged when I come back. No, before I went overseas, and let me think. When I come back, we got married. I carried on with the band for another 18 months, I suppose, something like that. And my wife, after we married, we lived in a house, and that was quite lonely, and she got a bit nervy. So I decided to give the band up, and I never done any more playing. I actually sold my accordion to buy a bicycle, or buy 2 bicycles, one for her and one for me. And I needed it, actually, because nobody got cars those days, not ordinary working people. And with that, I never done much down there at all. And then I come up to Burton in 1953. We'd been down there 7 years. And I'd been up here a few years, and I borrowed another accordion, actually. And somebody heard me play, and they said, "Well, you played the some 21st birthday party, I think it was, at Branston." So of course I said, "Oh, okay, I will." So I played it, and I had a chap there playing the drums with me, actually. And the landlord said at the end of the night, "Can you play 3 nights a week for me?" Well, I said, "I can do, I suppose." So with that, I played it, and I wore that accordion up, and I bought a good one. And with that, I sort of done the circuit for a month or 2, I suppose. And I went to Eric Reynolds' shop and I was rather taken up with these organs. And I thought, well, they're the in things now. I must somehow. I couldn't afford one, but I thought, well, I'll sell my piano accordion. So I sold the piano accordion. That just about bought me a small Elgar organ, and I played that for. And I used to take it to different clubs with me in my little Morris Minor Traveller. And with that, I suppose I've done several clubs, pubs, whatever, and the last pub I played for 19 years. But I still had a nice Lowry 325, I think it was. Is that like the one I got at home? I used to cajole all these organs. I made them buy one. I used to go there and they'd got some paltry thing. I said, well, you think I'm going to play that? No. You've got to go and buy yourself another one, a better one. So with that, they either done that or I wouldn't play. So they nearly always bought an organ somewhere. And that's how I finished my playing days. I had a heart attack and I had a stroke. The heart attack, I got over that one. I went back playing, but I had a stroke and that took all the use of my left hand. And with that, I packed up playing. I was in the 70s anyhow then, so I thought, well, I'd better pack up. I didn't think I'd ever go to get back again, but then I still had this organ, the 325, but I decided I wanted a Lowry Tyrus keyboard. I thought that'd be fitting in my house a lot better, because organs were going out. So that's what I done. I bought myself a Lowry Tyrus. I mean a Yamaha Tyrus, sorry. And with that, I've still got it. And I'm very pleased with it. Never regretted it. My brother played the cornet. He did play the violin, sort of like a Stefano Capelli type. He's a jazz player.
Okay, you tell me what this picture
Well,
is, Ted.
This was taken at a place named Dehradun in India, up in the foothills of the Himalayas. That's a bit much I can tell you about that one. And of course, as you see, that's the animal transport group, which I was in. First of all, I started off with a mule, then I got promoted to a horse, which I quite enjoyed very much.
So which is you on this? So
that's right, with the white horse.
That's you with the white horse?
Yeah, yeah.
And this is in?
Dehradun in India.
In India. What year is that?
1st Battalion, the Beds and Hearts Regiment.
What year would it be?
1945.
Okay, Ted, tell me what this one is then. Well, you on a horse?
That horse belonged to a lieutenant. That's the first horse I received. His name was Bruce. But his racing name was the Maltese Cat. I don't know why they should call it, but he used to race in his past, but that's about 15 years old then, that was.
Is that you on it?
Yes, yeah. I haven't been on that long.
So what did you actually do?
I was the groom.
You were the groom?
Yeah, that was my sole job, was seeing after that horse. Never done which I thoroughly enjoyed that. The first day I had him, he bit me. He gave me a nasty gash on my arm.
Ah.
He was a bit of a nasty brute at times, but he wasn't a bad horse really. I think he was not used to me, I suppose. And I was putting the rug on him, and he whipped round and grabbed my arm, picked me up off my feet, and gave me a shaking, and that was it.
Hey, tell me what this is then, Ted. This picture is
my father, my brother, and myself. I'm playing the piano accordion. My father was playing the tin whistle at the time. My brother was playing the violin, and we used to have a sort of a tune-up when I went on holiday, and that's where we were in his front room.
So who's this then, Ted?
That's my father, Harcourt Nesling. He, in his younger days, he did actually play for the silent films in London. Just a short spell when he was in London working, before he married actually. He did at one time play a few times up in London at a nightclub, but that wasn't only a sort of a one-off thing. I think Well, my father's sister was an actress at the Windmill Theatre. I can't tell you much about it because she died when she was 26. She died by having the tonsils removed and they cut the artery instead. So she died. That was at the Windmill Theatre. She was actress and a singer.
So now you just play for...
On my own amusement and a few charity things.
But you do a few charities. You did the Queen
That's
Street
right.
thing for me.
The AIDS UK and the Queen Street Community Centre party.
But you're still very active, even at...
Oh yeah, well, active as much as my knee will let me. Yeah, we keep on plodding around here. All right? We don't go far, but just short distances in the car. But apart from that, we don't go very far at all. We don't go on holidays now because I can't walk far. We are both the same, I think, my wife and I.
What are you going to play now, Ted?
I'm now going to play Tea for Two.
Tea for Two. That's a good idea. They won't have a cup of tea.
That's right.